Welcome back to the Ways Away Tour podcasting network with the still unnamed Deep Space Nine recap show, although we may have to call it I Am Tosk. My name is Moshe Hill, and I'm asking you, do not call me barkeep. I'm not a barkeep. I am your host, the proprietor, a sympathetic ear to the wretched souls who would pass through these portals, and I am here along with Andy Schwartz and Nati Burnside. How we doing, fellas?
Woo! Excellent. Excellent.
Here we go. We are up to Season 1, Episode 6, Captive Pursuit. Let's take a look.
You've traveled almost 90,000 light years.
A wanted predator from the other side threatens the space station.
Show me where the weapons are stored.
Is he a dangerous criminal or a pawn in a brutal game?
I live the greatest adventure one could ever desire.
Now the crew finds themselves battling the unknown.
He's running from something, that's for sure.
The hunt is on the next exciting episode of Star Trek Deep Space Nine.
Love that music. Love the 90s music. All right, so the hunt is on this episode of Deep Space Nine. Andy, what'd you think of it?
I think it's solid. I think I have a lot of thoughts on this episode. It's very interesting. It brings back a lot of Hirogen ideas, I feel like.
Well, it's like, before the Hirogen stuff, so it's
that's what I'm saying.
It predates the Hirogen ideas.
I guess it just makes me feel like this is where they kind of got the idea from of hunting down people and things like that. And it's a lot of ethical questions, like what's allowed, what's not allowed. If you're going to, they don't really talk about it too much in Star Trek, but like we cloned somebody in a previous episode and now he was created. I don't know.
So is the ethical question, are we allowed to hunt man?
Yeah, that's a good question.
I'm pretty sure Nati would be okay with that. Nati, what do you think of the episode?
I think it was interesting that their society is so open about something that like the Hirogen, I think, at least in some ways, like almost they understand that they're bad guys in some way. Like when you see like the Federation interact with the Hirogen are kind of like, yeah, but we're gonna like hunt you and kill you. Like they seem like they understand they might be the bad guys in the situation. These guys are just like, well, we were hunting this guy, but it was too easy, so we made him sentient. Was that wrong? And you're like, I don't know. You're not hunting us, though, right? It's like,
we should start having
you don't hunt us, I guess.
He doesn't need to eat. He doesn't need to sleep. He's just.
I know. It doesn't.
For not trying to kill us, but like, I don't know that you should try to kill that guy either. It's just like a very weird conversation in Sisko's office.
Well, I think before we get into talk about Tosk, I want to have a 20-minute, maybe 25, no more than a half-hour talk about Dabo Girls and the Ferengi print that Quark throws in there.
That's
how
amazing.
Umox is literally part of the contract.
Okay, here's the question. When she says it's in the Ferengi print, I
thought that was the funniest thing in the world.
That's the best thing.
I'm assuming, okay, it's not literally written in Ferengi because that wouldn't make a difference because they have like translators and stuff.
It's a contract.
I think that's galactic slang for fine print.
I think it's smaller than fine print. I think
it's like galactic slang for like the fine print they don't want you to read.
Yes.
You will never ever find it unless it's pointed out.
I know. Subsection C, like the Ferengi print is such an amazing line, and so
I love that line.
And he goes. So the episode starts with her going to this Dabo girl, talking to Sisko, and be like, listen, when you're a Dabo girl, people expect a certain thing. What is our equivalent of a Dabo girl? It would like a stripper, like a cocktail waitress, like what? Like what's going on here?
You would think so. It's kind of like.
I think it's kind of like a waitress at Hooters, probably, right?
Okay, so it's like a cocktail waitress or a waitress at Hooters, and it's like you assume certain things about
It's like
the
expected
Dobby
to like wear this revealing outfit and like flirt with the customers, like at Hooters or something.
That's
I don't think you're like.
but that's not what she was implying that Quark was demanding from her.
Well, you run the games, you make the clients happy, and then if they make money, you make them more happy. You know, like
I mean, I'm just gonna say one word. You guys will know what I'm talking about, and we won't have to elaborate. Vanilla. Okay, so
can I just say separately?
You know what I'm talking about. Yes.
Nati's
like, oh my god.
This is a Starfleet ship.
Yes.
Officially, right? Like
this is run by Starfleet. It's a Bajoran station run by Starfleet.
The fact that like there are probably other Dabo girls who like know about this in their contract and are okay with it. Does that mean like Starfleet is like allowing prostitution?
Well, they do have holosuites and Ryza. So yes.
I was gonna say Planet Ryza. Like, can we like acknowledge? But that might not be like a Starfleet planet. That might just be like.
I mean, it's more like okay, the United States has certain like rules, but Vegas does exist.
Right.
Like we're all aware.
In Vegas,
we're all aware of
like in Vegas where it's legal.
Yeah.
Yes. But very gray area. You know,
yes.
like.
And what you really want to do is just keep it contained to Vegas.
Yeah.
Yes, we understand that Vegas is a thing, and you have it there, and it's just completely legal in Nevada or Vegas or wherever, like Reno. But you don't want it expanding out to the rest of the country.
Yeah.
Keep it contained.
I read a whole article because when we had sports betting, that's how it started.
Yes.
And then it expanded, and we're like, what a world we live in.
I know.
You know?
All right, so we meet our first alien from the Gamma Quadrant. We're dipping our toe into new species. Where does Tosk and... Okay, wait. If Tosk is the name of the hunted, then what is the name of the species that is
I don't think they
Tosk?
name them.
They just...
do they name them?
I don't think they name them.
I wrote down, he says such things as, I am Tosk, my name is Tosk, over this Tosk.
Yes.
They don't specify. He is just
So he is
creature.
Tosk. I always assumed Tosk meant the hunted. Right? So I am part of a species called Tosk. Of a genetically engineered...
individual names.
Let's be real. They're confusing you on purpose. There is no answer. Do we ever see this species again?
No. We don't.
So
which, by the way, I actually think is kind of a bummer, because it would be interesting to get a little bit more out of them. But like you said, basically they took them and made them into the Hirogen, which
what's also there's a lot of interesting ideas behind it. So. I don't know where you want to start.
Okay, so, let's go through the episode. Okay.
So let me start by saying, this is a pro O'Brien episode, in my mind. He doesn't get murdered or killed.
An O'Brien episode that he survives without major trauma,
and he's not suffering. He makes a friend.
Yeah, the funny thing is, I think you have to remember that, early on Deep Space Nine, O'Brien in essence is kind of the main character, only because he's the person everybody knows.
Yeah.
Because you could say Moshe is definitely going to encounter this. He's in the middle of the TNG rewatch, but O'Brien is the main character in several Next Generation episodes.
I'm already in the middle of season 7 of my TNG rewatch, so O'Brien's gone. But yeah.
So O'Brien is a lot.
But even O'Brien as a main character, he is still an ancillary character to the core cast. So even in the episode which is about O'Brien marrying Keiko, it's really I think it's called Data's Day. It's all about Data. And even the episode where O'Brien is taken over by these little balls of light on a planet that took over him.
What's that called? Him and Data and
Troy.
And
but they
Troy.
were rejected.
They're
right
taken over by the
to...
3 aliens.
Exactly.
Data and Troy, yeah.
Yeah, like that's more of a like O'Brien is ancillary to the other two of them, you know? So it's like O'Brien never really had his own showcase like the one he has in this episode.
But also, like, you get some Keiko episodes, like the episode like Rascals. Keiko's one of the 4 people who gets turned into a kid.
Yeah, but even with that,
you get like some.
She's the least utilized kid. You know.
Jeez, talk about potential bad things happening to O'Brien. Wife gets turned into a child. That's real creepy.
Yeah.
So
wait, hold on.
Yeah.
O'Brien has a wife that turned into a child that turned into an adult. He was taken over by an alien entity, but so was his wife taken over by an alien entity, and like. So literally, the worst thing that happened to O'Brien in this episode is someone removed the apostrophe between the O and the Brian. And he
do we
referred to
count?
him as
Brian.
Great
Brian.
episode coming up in the future. Great episode going up in the future. But do we account for terrible things that happen to O'Brien when O'Brien gets cloned and really the terrible stuff is happening to his clone?
Oh, of course. Oh my god.
It's not really him. Like.
Well, he is captured that entire time. We'll get to it. Yes, that is a good episode.
He's asleep though, isn't he? It's like.
Yeah, that's true. But he does have to go through. He does have to go through quite the paranoid time. So they bring in this Tosk's ship, right? Now, this is a ship coming from the Gamma Quadrant. Okay.
Yes.
First time they're seeing any ship come from the Gamma Quadrant. Why do they even think that they can repair it? Unless.
Oh, we're gonna ask a universal translator question.
What?
Thought you were gonna ask a universal translator question.
No, the universal translator is magic. Like.
Oh, okay, cool.
You don't even need to get a few words in anymore.
Nah.
Like, yeah, there's a certain thing about like Star Trek that you're like, okay, this is just magic for, you know, I'm pretty sure there's an episode, was it of DS9 or TNG, where like it took like a few scenes for the universal translator to work? That's a DS9 episode.
It's a couple episodes from now. It's with the Screens.
Yeah. So, and it's annoying. It's like, I literally am just like, oh, like, can we just like move along home? So
I actually think they put in the episode with the Screens with the universal translator doesn't really work in the beginning, as like it's like, oh, you want to complain about the universal translator? How annoying do you find this episode when it doesn't work?
Do you want to?
Why don't you stop complaining about it?
I know. So we'll get to it when it happens. But why why is he able to fix? I guess there's like a universality to how ship engines work.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, they're taking antimatter and creating something, so as long as they can scan it, you would think they can replicate it.
Like it's a car engine. Like, yes, there are different kinds of car engines, but like it's all basically pistons and stuff.
Once you 3D print it, like once you get a copy of it, you can just 3D print it. Like,
by the way,
that's like when.
By the way, the
Tosk
alternator died again on my car. I told you guys about. I literally no car. Like this, I'm so annoyed about it. That's neither here nor there. I gotta get O'Brien to help me. Yeah.
We skipped the biggest thing.
Yeah.
The fact that this is the first time we're dealing with an alien species from the Gamma Quadrant.
Yeah.
And the fact that there's no security protocols, which I'm not going to.
Oh, I'm gonna get to that. Oh, I have like a whole topic about that.
How is the first line when he sends O'Brien saying, "Why don't you skip first contact protocols?"
Yes.
Like, how are we? Isn't that the whole point of the first protocol?
We're gonna skip first contact protocols this time.
The first contact protocols.
He seems nervous.
Yeah.
Let's take care of.
He just went through a wormhole, traveled 90,000 light years. Yeah, he seems nervous.
He won't answer us. He won't say anything.
Yeah.
He's just
By the way, did Sisko just not have his cup of coffee that morning? And he's like, "Yeah, we're just gonna skip first contact protocols. O'Brien, you take care of this."
The funniest part of it is that when Dax says that, like, maybe we should like suspend first contact protocols for now. It's just because like, good idea, and you're like,
that's not a good idea.
I thought the whole point, like, you guys were here was like you guys were going to be like, we're going to be like the first contact people. Everybody comes to the wormhole. We're going to be like, hey, nice to meet you. Welcome to the Alpha Quadrant. And they're like, we should do it. It's the first time.
What's even crazier is that they're expecting to meet people from the Gamma Quadrant.
Yes,
but there are no protocols. It's not like he's like, oh, let's put it into the protocol.
We don't need
it.
If anything, the fact that this was your first opportunity, it's almost like super easy. It's one guy. It would be like way harder if it was your first opportunity and like a giant ship came through with 1,000 people on it.
I know.
That would be very hard.
Were they expecting to change into dress uniforms? Like, we gotta run and change into dress uniforms.
Change into some dress uniforms and into the airlock. Like, how hard are we just doing?
To welcome Tosk.
Let's just sneak onto his ship where he probably doesn't breathe oxygen, or maybe he does. And like,
by the
he's
way,
a reptile.
In the first contact from the Gamma Quadrant, they skip first contact protocol. The second first contact from the Gamma Quadrant, they shoot at them.
Well, to be fair, those guys just kind of beamed onto the station and started blowing stuff up.
In my defense, they did. They did do that.
What's kind of crazy is that,
in fact, if Dax had said her line at that point, it would have been really funny.
Yes.
If it had been like earlier in the episode, right? Like Tosk comes to docks of the ship, and Dax is like, first contact protocols, and Sisko's like, break out the dress uniforms, and they're like, woohoo! And then like later on, beam onto the station and start blowing stuff up, and Dax is like, maybe we suspend the first contact protocols, and Sisko's like, great idea, old man. Like, that's a good joke.
But even if that is a good joke, you could also do the same joke, but the opposite. Let's skip first contact uniform, and then later, Sisko, when he's like, going to ops, like, oh, we have to go to the promenade, and Dax is like, should I change into my dress uniform? And Sisko's like, maybe not now, old man.
Or like they're blowing all the stuff up, and everybody looks around at Dask, and they're like, "This is because you suspended the first contact protocols."
They also, what's kind of crazy,
follow
also
the protocols.
Yeah, this is what happens when you don't follow the first contact protocols. For the first of our first contacts.
Andy, what?
I was gonna say, they don't even know where in space in the Gamma Quadrant. Like, they could be like, there's Klingon sections or Vulcan sections. Like, they could be in a terrible section like of space with like tons of evil people, and like,
so the people in the Gamma Quadrant have no idea. But you also are familiar with a lot of really vicious alien. Like, why are you so welcoming? Like, how do you know this isn't the Borg? You know what I'm saying? Or the equivalent.
This is our ship. Welcome aboard. We have 300 people.
Even stuff like they barely, it's like they get along with like the Romulans, and like the Romulans are like no joke. And it's like, if you like drift a little bit like too far past like Cardassians also are like, they're getting along with them now, but like Cardassians, like big war against those Cardassians. You go like too far past Cardassian space, you end up with like the Breen, who are awful.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, who walks through the wormhole? We'll just like let them on the space station.
And have no security protocols.
No, none. Like,
literally. Okay, so I saw that.
I have to, before we get into the security protocols,
we got to talk about.
Can I just say, why are we sending O'Brien? I know he's an engineer, and he will be needed.
The question is not why do we send O'Brien. It's like, why do you just have like, why isn't it just like ops to Odo, meet O'Brien at like the airlock?
Yeah,
but you're like the commander should go, or the first officer. Like he's just like head of ops. Like, okay, great. Like, he's the head of an organization.
And why did they think O'Brien would be so comfortable with him, or he would be comfortable with O'Brien? Because he basically said, we're gonna tractor you in. Like, that's what he said to him. That was it. Like, okay, we're tractoring you in, and you're good.
Because he listens to O'Brien when O'Brien tells him to he does. There's this like exchange where O'Brien tells him to like do this thing, and the guy's like no, and O'Brien's like, no, if you do this, I'll be able to like do this, and the guy's like, oh, okay, and he does it, and they're like, oh, okay, that's good enough. We should send O'Brien to solo this mission. Like, what? Why is he going by himself?
I know. Oh my god, I love
it. Let's make this weird alien from the other side of the galaxy one-on-one on his turf in his ship.
I know. All right. Big topic of the episode. I think this is the most egregious thing ever. The computer showing anyone with no questions asked where the weapons are stored, and are gonna basically say they're over here, check them out. Like, doesn't that seem like
go to them?
Yeah, doesn't that seem like a bit of a breach in security? Like
The first alarm should be like you're not allowed to look here. Second of all, they should send an an alarm to like the bridge.
I
and
mean,
be
I
like,
guess
"Hey,
it
bridge,
did
this
because
guy is
Odo
looking for your
became a
weapons."
painting, but like, which by the way, very elaborate. Like,
Like, yeah, if I'm like putting, I don't know how this works, but if we're like putting random aliens in random quarters and being like, here's access to the computer, like, the first thing is we're hooking up the guy's computer with his like Google search history, and it's being fed directly to Odo's computer. Like, whatever the guy is searching for, I want to know what it is. Like, what's the
Odo's
first thing he asked about?
Odo
Is the first thing he asked about, like, show me a star chart so I can find out where the hell I am because I'm on the other side of the galaxy? Understandable. If the first question is, where are the weapons? I'd be like, no.
100%.
Can I also say
No.
when he goes on Tosk's ship and he's looking for him, are there not tiny aliens? Like, couldn't he be just like teeny tiny? Like, I'm just thinking that like
I'm on the view screen, though.
Well,
Yeah,
also
but you
they
could have
see
the
the
camera.
size of he sees the size of the chair, so I
Oh.
guess
Yeah.
it's like proportional to the chair size.
which is interesting. But yeah, the security protocols. By the way,
Also,
are
that
horrible.
shuttle that Tosk has is, I think, too small
Tiny.
for the docking ring. Right? So we discussed this in previous episodes, how there's 3 places where shuttles can dock. There's the pylons, which is for starships. Then there's like the medium-sized shuttle areas, which is like for like smaller Klingon warbirds, the Defiant, or whatever, which are attached to the outer docking ring. And then there's where the shuttles are, which go into these like bays that go down.
Landing pads.
The landing pads. That shuttle was tiny. I think that was landing pad size, not docking ring
have been.
size.
Yeah.
And they show it in the docking ring.
I wonder how, like, if the tractor beams can only tractor you into specific places. Because they tractor him in.
Yeah.
Also, I like to point out that you're talking about like the upper and lower pylons. The funny part is that there's the smaller pylons that you never see get used in the history of the show.
Which ones?
What?
Which pylons you never see get used in the history of the show?
The smaller ones that are on the inner ring.
I look at my picture.
On
Yeah,
your
you're
picture
right.
you have on.
Oh, I see them. Yeah, I never thought about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, just nobody ever uses them.
Those are decorative.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
they're there for
so-
symmetry purposes.
I feel like we have to say O'Brien is extremely warm and loving. Like I really feel like you feel like O'Brien in this episode, like his character, you know?
Well, yeah,
Like,
he's the
we're
main
here
character.
we're here to serve, you know, and like he just has like a lot of fun lines.
I
that,
did
like,
love
make you feel
when
very-
he introduces telling Tosk about like the Federation and about how warm and welcoming they are, and at that moment Quark kicks a cheater out of the bar. Like it's like, get out of here. I don't want you here. I don't need your kind.
What is this place? We don't talk. Oh, we'll talk about it later.
By the way, 300 people living on Deep Space Nine. That's mentioned for the first time.
Yeah.
Yet they can't fill a classroom. They
Also, yeah.
like,
How are you also gonna have this guy eat your food when like O'Brien brings him into the room and it's like, go to the replicator and make something, and he's like, I don't eat, but it's like he wouldn't even know what to eat in the first place because you don't have the same foods.
I guess you could program the replicator, but you could also like get their universals like water and like jump sticks.
Yeah.
I also
When
do have
Tom says he doesn't eat, I'm also like,
How's that work?
what?
Yeah.
You can't not eat?
Well, he says he like generates his own biomimetic gel or whatever.
Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it doesn't-
You have to like consume energy to then use energy.
Yeah.
He's not a changeling or something who's like a non-regular form of life. He's a regular like bipedal species.
It's true.
When he said that, I was like, now we're trying too hard to make the Gamma Quadrant species weird. Like,
So-
oh, he doesn't eat. Why?
Or sleep.
just for the sake of making him a little weird. Like,
disappear.
what?
So
Why do we
let's-
not
yeah.
put tracking devices on people who can disappear or like shapeshift? Like you have this spaceship full of people. If you can just like randomly vanish and like steal from people or like
Yeah, the
disappear,
vanishing thing is
shouldn't there
tough.
be like some sort of protocol?
Yeah.
For, like what to do with him.
Like you could camouflage yourself. This is also true with like telepathic beings. And like a lot of this stuff happens because everyone's like so tolerant of all these alien races, except for a lot of these alien races have like superpowers. And
yeah, like
shouldn't we have like a protocol or two?
If you're playing Dobby, you can't cheat. I guess not, but like I don't know how it works, but
yeah, like there should be some protocols about dealing with superpowered aliens, right?
Yeah, you like there. I mean, there's got to be all types of aliens from like every different power.
Yeah,
you know.
I know. It's like, what if like a Kryptonian shows up? That'd be weird.
We should go. Yeah. We should go play craps, and then if we win, yell Dobbo. Dobbo.
All right, we'll do that next time. Next time we get to play craps.
I think it's really more like roulette, though.
There's no way that people haven't done that before.
It's definitely done.
That it hit black on roulette and people shouted Dobbo.
Let's remember, the Star Trek experience used to be in Las Vegas. So yeah, I'm pretty sure they did that.
I have gone to that. Well, not really that. I went to the Star Trek hotel one time, but I wasn't really watching Star Trek. So I was like, this is kind of interesting. I don't really get it, but, you know, they made the doors look like this. Yeah.
What is interesting is that this is the first time we see any type of security protocol with the guns when he walks through and it's like, oh, we have a weapons shield to stop people from bringing weapons.
Yeah, so how is O'Brien able to walk through, but the other guy gets knocked back? Like, so maybe, if the other guy stole
a badge, maybe
is it the comm badge along with the thing, or? But by the way, hold on.
Who knows?
But O'Brien was wearing the comm badge the first time. But hold on, and then is it the Federation phaser is okay?
Yeah, that was like maybe. I mean, I don't know who's programming these things.
Yeah,
because he does change it later on in the episode. So
the Duras sisters show up with like disruptors on the promenade.
Maybe they added the thing to him afterwards.
And Odo's like hand it over.
Yeah, it's like, hey, maybe we should figure out a way to not let people walk onto the promenade with phasers, with disruptors.
It feels like one of those things that they figure out afterwards, and then they're only because the plot line like really worked with it, so they're like, okay, we'll use it, you know?
Yeah. All right, so I like the because I've been watching so much TNG. So you got Odo is a painting, don't know why, but he's basically waiting for Tosk to turn the thing on. So basically, I guess he was informed that Tosk was looking into these things like via the ship's computer. The ship's computer must have informed Odo, because otherwise, how would he know to do that? Right? To like go there. So he waits until Tosk, commits the crime, becomes the Odo. But then I do love how Tosk, before he changes, has to go like this. Lego Pokemon. Like, why?
Yeah.
Like, why does Tosk have to go like this before he changes?
To scare him.
I do not understand it. But he is pretty unflappable, Odo. I mean, I feel like Worf would be like, shut off the security. Like, he'd like be shouting instructions. And Odo's just like, computer, just lock this corridor down. Like, you're fine. Like, Odo, like, does not give a crap. He's like, this is not difficult.
What's amazing is that for somebody who's 3 years old, like, he's 3 years old? He's very professional. Like, he's very, like, organized.
Consummate professional,
like, put
Odo.
Together.
Oh, yeah.
It's unbelievable, for sure. Yeah.
Oh, like, that's why if you're doing the power rankings of your security chiefs, like... who are the power ranks of the security chiefs that we got? You got Odo, Worf, Tasha Yar, I guess, whatever. And Tuvok, like
Tuvok's pretty solid.
Tuvok's solid. But like Odo's way up there,
He's definitely capable,
Yeah, Worf's pretty good too. I guess like Worf, you're dealing with the fact that like you're dealing with like the greatest ability is availability situation where like Worf's like a great security officer when he's not like leaving you to serve on a Klingon ship for some reason. It's like having like Zion Williamson on your team. It's like great, he's like all-star caliber player, but he only plays like 45% of the time. Like he's just like randomly gone half the time. You're like, oh, where's Worf? Yeah, he's serving on the Voloth this week. Oh, weird. Great. Who's running backup on that? Like Like,
Captain, request a leave.
that's why we have Matthews over here who's in this meeting. Like, just having Worf on your senior staff is like hilarious. He's literally gone all the time.
I know. Captain, request a leave of duty again. What the hell, Mr. Worf?
Just one time. I would love to see him go to Picard or Sisko, and because there's that one where Picard like originally is going to say no, and then he says yes to Worf because like Worf explains like whatever. Or it's actually a Sisko scene where he explains Martok asks him to come along on some stupid mission, and Sisko's like going to say no, and Worf's like, well, I have to because I owe him gibberish Klingon word, and Sisko's like, well, what is that? And Worf's like, well, we were captured by the Jem'Hadar, like. He saw in my eyes that like I
saw in my eyes, and he gave me.
He saw in my eyes that I was gonna die.
He gave me the soul of the warrior
in the battle. And Martok, he gave me his like warrior's heart so that I would continue, and I lived through that day. So I owe him my life. And then Sisko's like, all right, sounds like a reason. And then he goes to his like the computer on his desk, and he goes to type in like, all right, let's like let Worf go or whatever. Just one time, I'd like to see Sisko be like go to his pad to type Worf go, and he's like, huh. I never put you back on the roster. Just, how long have you been back on duty? Worf's like, 12 minutes? He's like, yeah, forget about it. You're still off. Don't worry about it. Just, like, you're never here anyway. Whatever, who cares? What percentage of the time are you in a Starfleet uniform in this show? It's just so funny. I love Worf never being around.
So, by the way,
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Yeah. When you're done.
No, I was going to continue on.
Oh, so I was curious. Is Tosk the same species as the aliens?
As the hunter? Is the hunter the same species as the hunter?
Yes, because they look different.
No,
they also
I think he's. It's very possible that he's like. I think if I had to guess, like just generically, I would say he's probably based on some sort of animal from their homeworld that they kept like genetically engineering to be more and more difficult to hunt.
So humans used to hunt monkeys, and like it was getting too easy to hunt the monkeys, so they gave made them.
Let's make him invisible.
Or
let's make
him genetically enhanced or whatever.
That's Planet of the Apes 17.
That is essentially Planet of the Apes, exactly.
Yeah. Because I think that's what it's like. Oh, like we used to like hunt this creature for sport, but then like it got too easy because like we have all this technology and like so then we had to like genetically engineer the creature to be like able to like not be scanned by technology, but then still we're so smart that like so now we have to make the creature smarter, and then like you end up with this.
By the way, there's no way.
Go down killing whoever the hell they want.
There's no way that in the beginning of Starfleet Academy, a terrible show that I do not watch, when they showed like a bunch of different alien species, including the half black and white species that's supposed to be extinct, that someone didn't say we should throw a Tosk in there, right?
That'd be great.
Of course, you would think that would be great. It makes no sense.
That would have been awesome. Been like.
No, I mean, like 1,000 years later, the Tosks, they're sentient species living on their own, probably.
So I have a question. Crazy. Yeah,
I'm saying they don't portray him as like a harsh character. He's a very calm and like nurturing character. So like, even though you would think they would make him like Klingons, like angry and like bitter and like. And he's not like that. And you're like, well, how are you going to be like a good defender or fighter? Or like, how are you going to argue well with us?
No, because he's not supposed to fight them. He's supposed to run from them. So in essence, like him being like scared is like an asset. Like
but he can attack them. Like he
can. And you see him when he like pushes them over or whatever, but he's more like scared of them because like his fear is driving him to escape. Like he's not supposed to like win the battle. He's supposed to escape the battle.
It's like a game of tag.
Yeah,
like you're supposed to run away and hide.
Right. Yeah. So I think he's portrayed like really like nicely in that capacity where it's like he's not like they created a super enemy. They created like a thing to run away from them.
So here's my question, and I wanted to talk about this because they were describing Tosk. And they're describing how much he loves to be hunted and how honored they are and like how the only thing they want to do is be hunted. And I kept thinking about House-elves in Harry Potter because
Yeah.
it's like,
Same thing. I thought the same thing.
yeah, it's like, well, hold on, because Dobby wants to be free. So there's definitely like a Tosk that's just like, screw this, I
Yeah.
want to be free. But then you
Yeah.
have like Hermione, who's like the voice of people who, you know, are aware that enslavement is bad. And it's like, okay, like we can't allow this. And that's like O'Brien, and like this is crazy. But then there's like the people who are like, why are we interfering with their society? Like, they like this. They want this.
Well, that's why in Starfleet Academy, like 1,000 years later, there's going to be like a Tosk there, because you're going to end up with like some Tosk who are like, I don't want to be hunted. That sounds kind of lame. And then some other people of the hunter species that are like, why are we still doing this? Like, I'm pretty sure this is like barbaric, and like we're like an advanced species that has like warp capable ships. Like, maybe we should stop doing this. Like, and that definitely like progresses over a period of time, and eventually they stop doing it. Like, but the Tosk are already like ascension species, and that's up with the Tosk at Starfleet Academy.
Yeah, but since they are a genetically engineered species, there is no way that they are self-breeding. They are definitely created. So they would just stop making them.
Yeah.
Well, but there's the Jem'Hadar, same thing.
Yeah, but that's stupid.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
You got a fair point there.
Nah, I don't think it's stupid at all. The Jem'Hadar thing makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
If we've learned anything from Jurassic Park, it's life finds a way.
By the way, there's no way Starfleet Academy, I think they just wrapped season 2. There's no way it's getting a season 3. There's no way. The ratings on that are terrible. Yeah.
Who knows? The show is very like up and down. It's very much like, and sometimes it's even up and down in like inside of an episode. Sometimes in an episode you're like, this scene is great, and then other times you're like, I don't know what this scene's about.
All I know is that I saw a preview like when I'm scrolling through, and apparently like they become theater kids this week. So like that's what we need.
Can't wait to see that.
All right, I'm sure you do.
Yeah, but the Deep Space Nine episode was good.
Yeah, well, Sisko, and they didn't answer the question in the end.
Oh God.
What do you mean they didn't answer the question? There's no way
We're
they're
not
going to
getting
answer
into
the
this. We're not getting
question.
into this. All right.
Anyway, okay. So why is it that 2 separate times towards the end of the episode does Sisko specifically quote the Prime Directive? There are 2 times towards the end of the episode.
Well,
where he's
because
like,
they're
now we're gonna
violating the Prime
follow
Directive.
Like, I don't understand.
Well, here's the question: is it really violating the Prime Directive?
What is the Prime Directive? Is it written down? Is there like a rule, like a
The Prime Directive is like, yeah, it's
This is actually the Prime Directive.
what?
The Prime Directive. So this isn't the Prime Directive.
this the Tertiary Directive. Like, what is this?
Yeah, this is like the non-interference directive.
Yeah, so the Prime Directive is do not interfere in other people's cultures, and especially, but I think the Prime Directive is you can't interfere to the development of a pre-warp civilization.
Yeah, like
Right.
Yeah.
The Prime Directive is there's no contact with pre-warp species, and then the non-interference directive is that you're not allowed to affect like the politics or whatever or customs of non-Federation cultures. So like theoretically you can't like mess with these people. Like if this is how they want to like do their thing, then like you have to let them do their thing, which is one of those things that like this is where like these Federation like regulations get broken all the time, because like any like captain who's like out on the frontier or whatever and sees something they don't like and they're like, that's wrong, they just like do whatever their conscience tells them to do, and then they have to explain themselves later on. Like it's basically like the whole show works.
Like Data having that whole conversation with that little girl on the planet. That
Yeah.
By the way, played by Nikki
Hate
Cox.
episode.
Played by a young Nikki Cox. I was like,
Hate that episode.
I just learned something interesting.
yeah,
This episode won an Emmy for outstanding makeup.
it did.
Yeah.
Sounds possible.
I mean, Tosk does look pretty good.
It's a pretty
Yeah.
good episode.
And it's like,
pretty
no,
good
it was
makeup.
for Kira. They liked her haircut.
for Kira.
Yeah.
By the way,
That's
there's
randomly.
no more Kira moment. Like Kira has had a lot of moments so far. She really doesn't have any this episode, but there's no more Kira moment than her two wielding two different handguns, like a Bajoran one and a Federation one. Like that is. By the way, her just having an extra phaser like on her, like here you go, Constable.
She's so bad. She's so bad in the fight on the promenade. She shoots a guy, and then the guy is like getting up slowly, and she just looks at him and waits for him to get up and shoot her. And you're like, shoot him again.
I know. I honestly, we have very high expectations for Kira.
Really slowly.
Like our Kira bar is very high. You know, so if she's pulling on someone's leg, it's like, Kira, we know you know better than that. Like, Kira, you are a better fighter than this.
You're
highly
also
Stop using a 4-year-old tactic.
What's crazy is you're shooting these people, but they're not shooting you back.
They
only shot one time and blew up the hatch. They were not shooting.
They're really trying to get to Tosk. They're not really.
They're not really.
Yeah, they're really trying to get to Tosk.
But it was just like an interesting, like, you know, we were just shooting. Also, they reminded me of that. Who's that DJ with like the mouse helmet?
Yeah,
you know.
Oh.
or like Captain Helmet from Mel Brooks'
Spaceballs.
Dark Helmet.
Spaceballs, Dark Helmet with
Dark
the giant helmets on these people. And you're like, what is going on?
It's like from
here?
Pop Star, like Never Stop, Never Stopping.
The little visor. Yeah. It was unbelievable.
I mean,
interesting.
Like they do kind of look like a little brainish.
Yeah.
But like, honestly, like. They're so much cooler than the Breen. Like, first of all, those transporter effects are really cool.
Yeah, those are pretty cool.
And then, like, they got like these red suits, and their weapons are awesome.
They
should bring these guys back.
They really seem like quintessential like sci-fi aliens. You know, like they're like what if you were writing what aliens should look like in the 1960s. That's what these guys look like.
Yeah,
like
classic.
uniform, red suits, helmets, you know, whatever. I do love
it's classic TOS, you know.
Yeah, I do love when O'Brien like punches one in the mouth. He's like, now I know why you wear a helmet, glass straw.
That's such a good line.
That is such a great line. I do love it. I do love that so much. So
can we also
yeah.
There's also the idea that the second spaceship to come through is not a large spaceship, assumingly, if you look at it. Yeah. And it literally knocks out your shields in like 10 seconds, and they just beam onto your ship.
Yeah,
like,
with a weapon they're not used to. Well, like, I don't understand why they let them
better protected.
Yeah, they let them just scan the ops.
Which I get.
And he's like, let him take a good look. We're cool. And it's like they're powering up weapons. By the way, it always surprises me how quickly the shields can get up. It's instantaneous. Like, my lights don't turn on that fast. Like I flick a switch, it like flickers. I know.
Makes sense.
It is kind of nuts. So
I never understood the shields though. That's a whole nother, like, are they physical? Are they non-physical? People can pass through them, but they can't pass through them.
The shields? Nati could probably go on a whole soliloquy about shield technology.
Shields have frequencies that allow things to like pass through them and not pass through them. So like technically, like if you know enough about like the shield generators of something, then you can pass directly through them. But like in general, like shields, like you can like be taken down with mostly energy weapons. They're usually better for like phasers than like torpedoes. Torpedoes are more like explosives than they are energy weapons.
Here's always my question about the shields, because they're always shown as like a protective bubble around the ship.
Yeah.
So if you're hitting the shields, why is the ship shaking? Like, that doesn't make sense.
It's space, vibrations in space, you know?
There are no vibrations in space. The protective bubble, if you're hitting the bubble, why is the thing inside the bubble moving? That makes no sense.
Because I think the idea is that the shield generators are like shaking from like taking damage.
Okay, so don't hang out
Sure.
near the shield generators. Is the
Put some vibrators on the bottom. Put some rubber on the bottom. Let it absorb the vibration.
absorb the vibration of the shield generators. All right, so I do love Quark. Every single time,
Oh,
like
every time.
this is such
Love him.
a great
Love
Quark
him.
episode with the
He's
very
small,
minor,
but it's so good.
but he's like, I'm gonna listen. First of all, like, what is the profit in Quark listening to O'Brien's woes? I mean, I guess with O'Brien it makes sense because like he wants to have a good relationship with the Starfleet officers,
Especially O'Brien. O'Brien's like the guy you need to fix anything.
Exactly. But like, he is.
You think with those ears they'd be amazing listeners?
I know, better than Guinan.
Yeah, much better.
I mean, bartender or whatever. So here's
barkeep, please.
Yeah. So O'Brien helps Tosk escape, right? Willing to throw it all away, willing to get killed, forget about his wife, forget about his daughter, forget about his Starfleet career, willing to throw it all away. And Sisko, he basically says, like Odo's like, okay, we got this. Like, this is not hard. This is basically playing on easy mode. And Sisko's like, there's no hurry. And Odo like just slows down, which is great.
He just randomly turns around, looks at him. He's
I know.
like, he's like,
I really wish Odo was drinking at the time because then he would like just sip a cup of coffee. That would have been an amazing meme if like Sisko had like a cup of coffee with him.
It speaks to his character so much because it's so against his nature, and he's like, He's like, look. He keeps looking at Sisko, like, how slow? Do you want me to
slow am
go?
I going here? Exactly. I know. And I also
does Tosk kill those guys when he shoots? He's got. I'm so random. Does Tosk kill those guys when he shoots?
I think so. I think all those guys are dead, right?
You got it. They're like, there's like smoke coming off of them. You know? Like,
and now, hold on. So now the Alpha Quadrant's out of bounds for the hunt. Maybe that's why we never see them again.
That was a good, right? That's true. That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a
so it's
point.
Like they officially say the Alpha Quadrant's out of bounds for the hunt. Can't go there. Which, by the way, that
it makes sense.
It would have been crazy if it wasn't. And they're like, all right, we just won't come to this station. But like, then the rest of the Alpha Quadrant becomes a shit show because now there's Tosks everywhere. Oh, we're here now. Not another goddamn Tosk. I'm gonna shoot them down.
It reminds me of like a Pokemon. I'm Tosk.
I know. I am Tosk. Tosk. Gotta catch them all.
It's such an interesting episode. Like,
I do
how
love
like
that.
they don't take it. They're like they just randomly show up this incredibly powerful like species.
Yeah. So okay. So now they're escaping, right? And O'Brien is definitely complicit in this escape. Like, no one's questioning that. A bunch of alien beings from the Gamma Quadrant get murdered on the station.
Yeah.
There are no repercussions for O'Brien.
My only
like
thing
is
he
gets chewed out like a little bit.
All right, you can only assume that like they died with honor. Like it's like a Klingon.
Those guys wanted a hunt. I gave them one. Like I just gave them one.
By the way, you would think like everybody would think like letting him go would be the most like effective thing because they didn't catch Tosk. The Federation caught Tosk. You just happened to come on the ship.
But the entire thing is that
Ken Brown's back.
Ken Brown, baby. No, like, so literally, like I said, is O'Brien complicit in the murder of an alien species? And how is he facing no repercussions for what he did?
Do you think is it established that somebody dies?
Who do you keep changing to the back there? I guess aren't all those hunters dead? Who is that? The real Ken Brown?
The real Ken Brown.
All right, get that off the screen. I don't think.
Hold on, I can't see anything, so I can't verify that.
Let's get it off the screen. It's fine. But hold on. I think those guys are dead. Aren't all the hunters dead?
I wouldn't think so.
Why wouldn't you think so?
Why would they be dead?
Why wouldn't they be dead? They were shot at like point blank range.
Yeah, but they were in these like armor suits, man.
Those didn't look very. He literally just passed out. One of them fell from the second floor of the promenade, which we know kills people. That promenade doesn't look that high.
Kill people.
I think they're dead. All right, like that's what it looked like to me. And so O'Brien just spins a line of BS to Sisko, being like, "Well, you know, they wanted a hunt, and I didn't think technically I was doing anything wrong. And Sisko chews him out, but Sisko's literally as guilty as O'Brien is, right?
The funny part is, if you think about it,
He knows it.
O'Brien's less guilty than Sisko.
How so?
Because it's a non-interference with like their culture thing. Like O'Brien's like, embrace the hunt, like let's embrace their culture, and Sisko's like, no. And you're like, well then, like O'Brien's like going along with their culture, like that's technically should I think be applauded maybe.
It should be applauded.
They want the hunt to continue.
They do want the hunt, and
So, like, you would think that would make them happier.
I mean, this is like classic Sisko, like the first instance of Sisko basically saying one thing, but like being totally cool with what's going on.
Even at the end of the episode, he's like, wink, wink. Like,
He does love that. He does love the wink, wink. I know.
Captains love this stuff though. Like we've seen every captain be like, what you did was completely ridiculous. You should never do it again. But also, good job. Like, happens like every time.
I know. And the little smile on his face.
When the captain actually disagrees. Sometimes the captain actually disagrees, and that's when it gets like the thing where Paris has to get demoted, where Janeway's like, I understand what you did and why you did it, and like, I would have been tempted to do the same thing also. But it's still like definitively against the rules and wrong. So I'm stripping you of your pip and sending you to solitary for 30 days.
Yeah,
and it's like,
but Janeway,
oh, she actually like punished him, because a lot of these times guys just like get away with this stuff.
Yeah, but Janeway does anything for her baby daddy. So Janeway does love her baby daddy, guys. All right,
Does,
so let's give them a little thing. All right, so that was Captive Pursuit. Any last thoughts on the episode?
it was a solid episode. Good O'Brien episode.
Yeah.
I'm looking at my notes.
Look at your notes. Miss any topics of discussion? Nati?
No.
Any last thoughts?
This used to be like one of my favorite episodes when I was a kid of like Deep Space Nine.
Really?
I really liked this episode. Yeah, like it was just like it was a lot of things. Like I really like Tosk. I really like everything about the hunters and like their outfits and stuff and their transport effects and their.
When you played as a kid, were you the hunter or were you Tosk? Like who?
No, so I was actually upset that they didn't. I believe they didn't. They didn't make a Tosk action figure, which like that was the line if you were like a really like good memorable like one episode character is that they would make an action figure of you. Like there's a Captain Dathan action figure.
Like, do they pull the string and he goes, "I am Tosk"?
There's no strings. Come on, Moshe. Yeah. Moshe doesn't have any Star Trek action figures.
We need to.
I was actually just in a collectible shop. I was actually just in a collectible shop and I saw a brand new Captain Dathan figure in the box. It was like $15, and I was like considering getting that. I was like, I don't have a Dathan.
Were you in a collectible shop?
In the Palisades Mall.
Ah, the Palisades Mall just got sold. All right. So this
was like a really good like one-off episode, and supposedly there was a thing. I think according to something I read at one point that the hunters were supposed to be part of the Dominion, but they never connected the dots, and they just left it alone. They were supposed to be like one of those conquered Dominion species that like you see in the background sometime, but like you just never did it again.
Yeah, I feel like the Dominion, like they started out as being like a very like, we'll get to it when we talk about the Dominion, but they started out with a very grand idea, and then it just became like the Jem'Hadar, the Vorta, and the Changelings. Like,
yeah,
they're like
they're also like the species was supposed to have a name. Like there was a name somewhere in like the script, and they just like didn't use it.
Yeah.
I think it's like the Dre. Is it the Dre? Someone look that up. Is it DRAI, like the Dre.
Yeah, but Andy,
I like that these episodes are like creating like this like character base with like O'Brien. Everybody's kind of really falling into place nicely.
yeah,
And it's like creating this like it's really coming together. You're starting to see people and then like where they're going, what they're doing. So it just
well, it's really gonna take a head when O'Brien and Bashir really start hanging out. And that takes seasons. That takes a long time for them to become friends.
buddies, best buds.
But when they become buddies, they're best buds. All right, so that was the end of Captive Pursuit, Season 1, Episode 6. Next week is the one and only, our only Q episode of the series. It may have to be a two-parter, because I could talk about Q and John Delancey forever. So
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
See you next week.
Did I get the week off? What?
You're taking the week off next week.
That's like, Andy and I get the week off because you can talk about it forever.
Oh, that's true. I will do that. All right. Have a good night, boys.
Until next time.
Come up with a name for this podcast. All right.
Live long and prosperous.
Move along home. All right. See you guys.